I started doing this gratitude work to attract $2 million for 10% of my company. And a few months later, I got the $2 million for 10% of my company against all beliefs, against everybody's opinion, including mine. I was able to raise that money, and it changed my life because I realized that this is the way that the universe works. I invite you to try it for yourself. There's two ways to change the neural pathways in the brain: a powerful emotional incident or daily repetition of something for 60 days or more. So I created a group called the Money and Love Brain Shop, and we meet daily because I wanted to give people an opportunity to have support every day to do the work.
Welcome back to the Power and Purpose podcast. I am your host, Vanessa Soul. Thank you so much for investing your time and your energy and your attention into tuning in to today's episode. I greatly appreciate it. I am super excited for today's guest. We have Napoleon Gratitude. He is a brain rewiring expert, transformational leader, and founder of programs that help people rewire their minds for lasting change. Napoleon, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me, Vanessa. This is really such a privilege and an honor to be here with you.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, it's an
I think,
honor to be here with you. I always enjoy your energy because I mean, yes, you go by Napoleon Gratitude, but you always remind me how much there is to be grateful for and thankful for. So I'm so glad to have you on today.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
I,
So,
I think
oh,
that the work that you're doing is so great, so extraordinary that, anything that you do, I'm here.
yes, absolutely. And I appreciate that. So my signature question that I love to ask all of my guests is who are you and who are you not?
Who am I? It's like a loaded question. And I think that every single day there's a new version of me, because of the work that I do with this group on a daily basis. And we do all this gratitude work and all these other things. And it feels like I change dramatically from one day to another. Um, I'm a human being with a great capacity for unconditional love. And I am a spiritual being having a human experience. You may have heard that maybe 100,000 times, but I'm also a being in flux because as we evolve, and as we evolve, we're no longer that person that we used to be. So I'm really excited to see what happens next. Am I not?
Mhm.
I'm no longer afraid. I'm no longer in fear. I am not in fear. I am not wanting anything from anybody in my life. And
Beautiful.
yeah,
What does that mean? I have to unpack that. What does that mean? You're not wanting anything from anyone in your life.
when you show up to the world with unconditional love, which is what I strive to do on a daily basis now, and I strive to give other people the unconditional love that I feel now, you know, then the wanting or the needing for anybody to do anything or to give you anything completely goes away. And so I'm finding myself in a place of absolute freedom
Mm.
because this is really the gift that I really have gotten from this work is the ability for me to grow my container for unconditional love to extraordinary capacity. And what happens is that when I'm operating from that and I go around the world not trying, giving unconditional love to everybody that I see, that I meet, then I don't expect anything in return. So there's nothing that I need or want from them, you know? And there's a moment there where you realize that you are the creator of your own happiness and the creator of your own love. and the creator of your own wealth. And there's no stopping anybody.
Yes.
And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for my life, especially because I went through really hard moments in my life, and now I feel absolute freedom.
Hmm.
Amazing, you know?
I love that. I love that. And talking about tough moments in your life, I know that you had a moment of near collapse when you were losing everything. You were even considering suicide. Tell us briefly. I don't like to, you got my listeners know it's not, it's, we don't focus so much on the traumatic times, but they are important because they do play a role in our transformation. So just briefly, what was that like losing everything? And then tell us about the shift where you started to regain your power in some sort of sense.
So many years ago, I had started a tech company, and I'd raised money for it. I ran out of money, and then I started putting my credit cards into it, my savings into it, into the company, without telling my ex-wife. And I started putting all this money, and I took out loans against some of the real estate that we own, and I ran out of money again, and then I was going to find myself to be homeless. And I thought, because my ego was so wrapped up in the identity, I said, I'm going to commit suicide so that my son doesn't have to be homeless. And in that moment, I realized I heard someone saying that suicide, um, oh my God, I can't remember now the quote, but doesn't matter. But I got, a few days later, I got down on my knees and I said, God, if there's a God, show me a different way because my way is not working. And in that moment, my eye went to this gratitude process that a friend of mine had given me. And I started doing this gratitude work like my life depended on it, because it did. You know. And as doing the gratitude work, 3 weeks into it, I met John McAfee from McAfee Antivirus, and he agreed to become my partner. And a few weeks later, I got 25K from an investor, and a few weeks later, I got $500,000 from multiple investors. And I'm like, all my friends are saying, "Oh my God, it's a gratitude work. It's a gratitude work." And I thought, yeah, but could I go? Maybe I just got lucky. Maybe it was just coincidence, because the brain, as I found out, has made up its mind about who we are and what life is and who we are in life by the time we're 7 years old. And it becomes increasingly difficult to change the way that we think as time goes on. And so what happened was that after seeing that, I realized that the only way to change is to create new neural pathways in the brain. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this, how, that the rewiring of the brain is real. It's neuroplasticity. It's scientifically backed. And so I wanted to prove to myself that the reason why I got that money was as a result of doing this gratitude work. So I started doing this gratitude work to attract $2 million for 10% of my company. And a few months later, I got the $2 million for 10% of my company, against all beliefs, against everybody's opinion, including mine. I was able to raise that money, and it changed my life because I realized that this is the way that the universe works. Whether you believe me or not, or whether any of your listeners believe me or not, I invite you to try it for yourself. And I found out that there's two ways to change the neural pathways in the brain: a powerful emotional incident, or daily repetition of something for 60 days or more, as I found out. And so I created a group called the Money and Love Brain Shop. And we meet daily because I wanted to give people an opportunity to have support every day to do the work. And we do the work during the meeting. We write the gratitude work and blah, 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 and all of that. And it's changed me in a way that I wanted to do this because of love. Not because of love, because of money. I wanted to make more money. And what I got a few months into it is unconditional love. Realized was that this is the way that it works, right? You got to do something daily for 60 days or more. And when you do that, it starts creating these neural pathways. And what I was sharing was I wanted to make more money, and that's why I created this group to support people in doing the work on a daily basis. And we started doing the work on a daily basis. A few months into it, this this feeling of unconditional love started showing up within me, started feeling it. And you know, the beautiful thing about unconditional love is that when you give it, you feel it, you get a taste of it. And that's the most amazing thing. And what's enabled me to do is to manifest things in a way that I never even expected, where I think of things and they show up in my life almost instantly. But it all has to do with the belief. If you don't believe, nothing's going to happen. And what the rewiring of the brain did was it gave me enough belief and uh, enough capacity to form a container to hold all these gifts. And by gifts, I mean, you know, the ability to all of the things that I've been saying, the ability to give unconditional love, the ability to be present in the present moment. Oh my God, the ability to manifest things where you detach yourself from when you want something and you think about it, and the moment that you think about it, you pay attention to something else, you know, or you do a little gratitude writing or you do any of that and don't think about it. Because the moment you think about it, like Abraham Hicks says, the moment you think about it, you introduce doubt because you start getting into the how. How am I going to get this? Why am I not getting it? Whatever. So you detach yourself and oh my God, I become like a magnet for things. Become a magnet for things, for items that I want, for people. I mean, I'm like attracting so many people to my life, so many people that are helping me with what I'm doing.
Yes, yes, it's beautiful. And you have such a big, beautiful community of individuals who all participate in this gratitude practice. Can you tell us more about that in the community that you lead?
Yeah, so the group that I created um, came from another group that I created many years ago when I started doing this gratitude work. I had a Tuesday night meeting at which you spoke a couple of times, I think. And I that Tuesday night meeting, I realized people are not changing, and I realized it's because they're not doing the work on a daily basis. And because I can hear now where people are in their life by the way they say things and by what they say. So I realized in meditation, I was meditating and I'm like, I'm out of answers. I'm doing a couple of different things. And then I said, God, what would you like me to do? I'm open. And then this whole download for this program came down and I started doing it. We're doing gratitude work. We write our gratitude list and we do the visualization because if you don't do visualization with gratitude, doesn't matter what you want to write on your gratitude list. You need to visualize it, and most importantly, you need to feel it. And then we do something called the JZ Knight quantum manifestation technique. I don't know if you know who JZ Knight is, but she's the producer and panelist of the documentary What the Bleep Do We Know, which is, you know, I mean, if you haven't watched that, I invite you to watch it. Then we also do the 40-day prosperity plan, which comes from the Abundance book by Jonathan Randolph Price. And this is a mantra that you say it over and over again. And we do that during the meeting. And then I bring in someone live to do an experiential talk, something, not only a talk, but give the group an experience. And we do the Sedona method of releasing energetic negative blocks. That has cleared all my triggers. Oh my God, that's like amazing. This is amazing work. The Sedona method, you know, it's a somatic practice. The practitioner says some statements, makes some statements, and you ignore the thought and pay attention to your body. And then you feel where the contractions are. You know, you may have heard of the book, The Body Keeps a Score.
Yep.
And this is exactly what we release, all of these triggers to the point that I have no more triggers. It's like, and what's interesting is that the moment that you get rid of those energetic blocks in your body, you also get rid of the thoughts that prompt,
Mm-hmm.
and the thoughts
Yeah.
stop happening. And it's
Yeah.
amazing. And the negative thoughts completely disappear. It's amazing. And then we do NLP, neuro linguistic programming. We do hypnosis for different areas in our lives. We do something called rapid transformation therapy from Marisa Peer.
Yep.
I bring a
That's
practitioner that does
powerful.
that.
Mm-hmm.
We
So
also do
so you guys are meeting every day. Is that right? 5 days a week or 7 days a week?
7 days a week. No
Seven
stop.
days a week. Because this is how, and I'm just going to mirror what Napoleon's saying to create those new neural pathways in the brain. You literally have to make something a lifestyle. It's not just do it once and get the daily experience. I mean, if that's all you can manage, sometimes that's all sometimes that's where we start. We start with one meditation for a month, right? One gratitude practice, one journaling practice for the whole month. But in order to make this long lasting change, I love that Napoleon has created it. He's living it. He's practicing it. He's created his community. And you already had communities before, like the ones where I was a guest on, but this time you were like, you know what? Like, let's actually practice what we need to practice. And that's being in our container every single day. And I absolutely love that. And I love that you guys bring in the different experiential speakers and practices that people can really fully just immerse themselves in that practice. And because every practice is so powerful, I think sometimes people get overwhelmed because they're like, there's all these practices. And it's like, yeah, just do them in bite-sized pieces. And you create that container for people where they don't need to go out and hunt down the rapid transformational therapy. I've heard of that. I heard how powerful it is. And then they don't have to go hunt down something else. They just show up and receive. And then I want to get that mantra from you. Can you share the mantra with us that you guys actually practice in the group?
There's 10.
Oh, okay.
There's 10 mantras. They come from the Abundance book. And we repeat them over and over again. One of them says, I'm happy and grateful that God is my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My
Yes.
understanding of this knowledge is divine, and I'm open to receiving all that I want.
Beautiful. And that's just one of them, or
That's
was
just
that a
one of them.
couple?
You
Oh,
do,
okay.
we do 10 of them, and we do 10 in 10 days, but we do them daily. And
Wow.
oh yeah, but the one that I love the most, I believe it's well, it's not true, but maybe the gratitude work is really important. But I love the quantum manifestation technique. I saw Jay-Z Knight in Los Angeles many years ago, and she was doing a seminar about manifestation, and she said, you have to say, I have always been, or I have always had. So I have always had a beautiful house on the beach in LA for as long as I can remember. And then you repeat that, you visualize it, being there, having that, feeling the gratitude, feel the joy, feeling the serenity and the peace when you visualize that house. And then you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. When you do that, it creates, like Jay-Z Knight says, it creates a molecule in the universe that becomes real.
Mhm.
And because you say, I have always been you say, I have always been super rich. And you close that sentence with, for as long as I can remember. Because this creates a sense of permanence in the quantum field, which is necessary for manifestation. So I didn't know that. And, she said this and she says, you're going to do this, and then things are going to come to your life so quickly, and you're going to ask yourself, could this be happening so fast? So I tried it. 4 days into it, I got an offer to be the CEO of a handbag company, of a women's handbag company. And my girlfriend said at that time, she said, Oh my God, could this be happening so quickly? And yes, it is. And it's only the belief that stops us.
And so, what are some of the transformations, the people in your community, like, what are some of the transformations that you're seeing, like the before and after? Like, how quickly are things happening for people in your community? Is there any examples that you can share?
I have so many of them. When I started the group, which started in 2025, February of 2025, um, I had this guy who reached out to me and says, Napoleon, I'm on your gratitude text group because I created a gratitude text group that has over 18,000 people that I send out gratitude exercises to every night. But so I sent out an invitation to all those people. And one of them says, Napoleon, I've been a member of your gratitude group, and but I don't have the money to pay for this group that you're starting, this Money and Love Brain Shop. And can I do some trade with you? And I said, because he's an actor. And he says, I haven't worked and I'm trying to look for work and, trying to look for things to do while I'm waiting for an acting gig. And I said, you know what, you can do keep the time, do the things for the group and all of these things. And he says, okay, no problem, great. And then, we start the group and all of that. Maybe 2 months into it, he says, I can't continue. I got a movie, I got two commercials, I got a series that I'm on set for, I got this guest
Yeah.
actor job. It changed. This
Okay.
woman needed $3,000 overnight for her rent. Okay. and and she starts writing the gratitude work. I received this money, blah blah blah. And she started doing I have always had $3,000 in my bank account for as long as I can remember. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It starts repeating that over and over again. The next day, she got the $3,000. And I mean, I hear these things in social media all the time, and I go, oh, like, but I saw it, how she
Right.
like got the money. She came the next day and she told us a story. I have a video of that. I have a video of all the people, everybody that's actually gotten so much out of it. We have a member that every time she comes, she's actually one of the most consistent ones. She comes, she used to struggle with earning money and all of that. She's a translator. And all of a sudden, she every day now she gets booked for a job, she gets paid extra, like super extra, extra, extra. And she's like, oh my God, the money's just pouring. And this has been going on, and every day it seems like she makes more money. She's like
Yes.
making more money than she's ever made in her life. It's
Beautiful.
amazing. So it's working. And it's all because you change the focus of your life and you focus on the good and you don't give doubt any chance and you focus. You do enough repetition on a daily basis, like what we're doing, all
Mm-hmm.
that self-negative talk, all that, oh, this never happens for me, all of that stuff goes away. It's gone
Mm-hmm.
away for me and for most, but by all the people that have actually done the work consistently.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I'm a little woo-woo in how I think about this, and my listeners are a little woo-woo and they're practical as well. But I think it's like a mix of it's alignment too, it's frequency, right? Like this gratitude work that you're talking about, it literally creates or you access the frequency of gratitude that you already have within you, and then you amplify it and amplify it and amplify it, and then all the things that you are ready for, or I don't even want to say the word wanting, but things that your intentions all start to magnetize towards you, and now they're all in your field because they're attracted to the energy of you being grateful for what you already have. Or and especially if you're and if you use that language that you said that one facilitator suggested, say that I have always had XYZ. I have always had, $1 billion in the bank or whatever it is. I have always had that LA mansion on the beach, whatever it is, because that literally allows you to experience it, feel it, and the mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality half the time, especially if you're using it as an intentional tool. Obviously, if we have like a daydream really quickly, we can tell that that wasn't reality. But if you're going to use it as a tool for changing your beliefs and seeing what's possible, and then and connecting to that emotion of you being of having that house or being that actor or being the mom that you want to be. It doesn't always have to be about money or homes or anything. It could also be about the family that you want to create, about the art that you want to create. But you have to be the person first, and then the things come, right? Is that what you're thinking as well?
Absolutely. You have to become, then do, and then you'll have.
Yeah.
Be, do, have. Most
Be,
people
do, have.
most people operate it in exactly the opposite way.
Right.
They think that they have to have something in order to do something in order to be that person. You know, you said something, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna say something about that. Um, so what we're doing is a daily frequency reset, which is really, when you put it in that context, you realize it's like people leave their jobs and they come home, and they used to, and when they come home, those traditional, in the 50s and 60s or 70s or whatever, they used to come home and then they used to have a drink because of pressure of work, whatever, mostly alcoholics, of course, but um, but we're doing exactly the same thing, but elevating our frequency and our vibration that shifts the entire day. And it's an hour meeting, right? It doesn't take that, I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but it's not that long, but an hour and 15 minutes to be exact. But it changes the way that you feel. And it's really great, especially if you're going to sleep right after that, because then you go to sleep with a different frequency, in a different frequency, with different thoughts coming to your head. The brain doesn't know the difference between a lie and the truth. The brain only takes what you say. People don't realize, oh, if I say this, oh, it doesn't matter what I say. Yeah, you keep saying that, but the truth is that it does matter what you say. Everything that we say, that we utter out to the universe, is like a wish to the universe, asking the universe for exactly that. You know, um, a few years ago, I read a few studies have been done about how people that acknowledge their age, the moment that they acknowledge their age is the moment that they send a signal to the brain that we are that age, whatever, and the brain starts decomposing the body to make it look like what you think a person of that age should look like. We don't age naturally. We, because we think that we do, but no, it's about how we relate to our age. You know, it's I found that, and it wasn't like a obscure research group that did that. No, it's like Harvard and Princeton and, like, organizations that have done these studies. So now I say that I'm 25 years old, and that's how I come to the world. And look, I've never been in better health than I have now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love it. I agree with everything that you just said. It's our belief about ourselves, everything down to our age and what, the vitality we think that we should have or we shouldn't have at that age, the health that we think that we should have or we shouldn't have at that age. So I agree. Quick question is and there's so many tools, just for my listeners, there's so many different tools to create new neural pathways. You can go down the Joe Dispenza path, and he might recommend those 1 hour long meditations. Those are great too. It's like you just choose what you feel resonates with you. Napoleon's group and his movement is about gratitude and practicing gratitude every day. And I 100% believe in the gratitude practice, Napoleon. However, I love to address the skeptics out there. So that's why I ask these kinds of questions. Just for the skeptic, whoever's skeptical about what we're talking about, they're like, yeah, someone might be saying, Napoleon, well, I'm grateful for everything. I write in my journal. I say to God every day that I'm grateful for this, this, and this, and I'm still struggling with this long list of things. What have you seen that? Have you do you have any thoughts on that? If someone feels like they're like, well, I'm using gratitude and it's not working. Can you speak on that?
Yeah. So the reason, and I'm gonna go back before I started doing all this gratitude work. I had done every transformational seminar. I mean, so many of them: Landmark Forum, the Sterling Men's Weekend, the Hoffman Process, MITT, LifeSpring, you name it. So many different transformational seminars. I went to see the Dalai Lama twice. I saw Amma 4 times. Deepak Chopra. I was like, I want more. I want more of this, thinking that knowledge was going to change me, but it doesn't. This is the sad reality, is that people don't change from reading a book. People don't change from the acquisition of knowledge. So, and I did Tony Robbins too, and no offense to any of these teachers, this is the way that they do this work. The problem is that it's not long-lasting change. And the reason is that they are not rewiring the brain. They're giving you they have a modality in which you go in for 3 days or 4 days. They
Mm-hmm.
deprive you of sleep. They bombard you with information, and then it debilitates the amygdala, the reptilian brain. So the critical brain, so that
And you're overstimulated with the lights and the people and the clapping. And a lot of us are sensitive. We're overstimulated. If there's more than 10 people in a room, we're overstimulated.
totally, exactly. But it basically relaxes the critical brain so that this information can go in. So you feel so transformed the next day. Like, oh my
Okay.
God, that Monday after any of these seminars, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna rule the world. And then it was always short-lived. And I thought, oh, I just need more of that. I just need more of that. But it isn't that
Hmm.
you need more of that. You just need daily work. It's not almost all the time that you're doing this gratitude work. To those skeptics, it's not almost all the time. It's like daily. If you miss a day, the brain resets. So it's like starting over. So the moment, and here's the thing, the brain doesn't want to get rewired, which is really the challenge. That's why people don't keep up with these practices. The brain doesn't want to be rewired. The brain, at around 18 days, 19 days, I've seen this over and over again. They start strong. When I tell my story, how I manifested $2.5 million within 6 months of wanting to commit suicide, people are like, oh my God, put me on that gratitude text group. Oh my God, oh my God. So, everybody's enthusiastic in the beginning and they're all like doing it that same day, like in that hour, they're writing their gratitude work. The next day they do it again. And then 18 days go by, and then the brain goes, oh, you're too tired. You've been working all day. Do it twice tomorrow. It's not working anyway. Where's your $2.5 million? It's been 3 weeks already, you know? But this is the way that's the way that the brain works. The brain wants to stop you from dipping too low or going too high. So you need to change the ability for the brain to see something else. And that is the trick of it all. This daily frequency reset, and if you're open to it, I'll be more than happy to give them an opportunity to come and try it for free to your listeners.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, this is so powerful, and it sounds so simple. And again, our brain doesn't want to change. So I feel like people could be, they could have so much resistance around this, like, oh, I don't need to join a group. I could just do this on my own. I don't think so, guys. There's something powerful about being a part of a community, having that accountability, having a leader like Napoleon, and everyone is in it together. Not to mention, again, here goes my woo-woo thinking. There's a certain, when you have a group of more than 8 people, there is a certain energy that starts to form and it holds the container, like it almost like protects everyone who's in it and it acts as an amplification. That's just from an energetic perspective. So being a part of a community like this is just so powerful. So if this is resonating with you, you probably heard this episode on the right day at the right in the right week, so really soak this in and receive it. And I would even suggest, I'm going to ask your opinion in a second, Napoleon, on what people can for those who are feeling called to join your group, will probably definitely connect with you and join your group after this, because we have Napoleon's information in the description. um but for those for sometimes people want to test things out. Is there like a simple practice that someone can do for like a week, or I don't know? Is there something simple that, and they have no existing gratitude practice at all? They're probably like, I gave up gratitude when I gave up going to church, or I gave up this religion, or I gave up to something. So, because a lot of times we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater when we're changing our lives. So yeah, is there a simple practice that someone can do just to kind of get themselves in this energy of gratitude?
Yes, they can come to one session
Okay,
of the group and they'll feel the difference.
beautiful.
What you just said about being in a group and doing collective work like that, I experienced it. I'll share my experience. When I created the group, I was concerned about muting people, monitoring the group, just paying attention to creating the group for people who are attending. And then a few days later, I said, maybe I should do the work with them so that I know what they're feeling, so that I know what they would need, right? So I started doing the practices with them, and oh my God. And I had been doing gratitude work for 10 years up to that moment, on a daily basis. Um, so I was doing this gratitude work, and I kept on doing it even during the group, while I was running the group, without doing the practices with the group. And then I decided I'm going to do it with them. And I started doing it. Everything changed. It's like an amplification. It's like the collective vibration elevates you so high, because we're all in it together, right? And the difference is drastic. For you to do it on your own, I can tell you, go ahead, try it. If you finish 60 days of daily repetition of gratitude, my hat is off to you. Do it on your own. My hat is off to you. Your life will completely change if you do that. But you have to do it for 60 days. I'm happy and grateful now that I have, and insert whatever you already have and you're grateful for, or whatever you want to bring into your life. Because one of the things that you need to do is you need to write these things as if you already have them.
Mm-hmm.
And then write because, and you write the reasons why you're grateful for having that. Because
Mm.
the brain needs to wrap itself around the reasons why you're grateful for having something. So in order to bring you more of that, or bring you, yeah, more of that.
Yeah, powerful. So Napoleon is so generous to give anyone listening to this episode. You get 1 day free inside his group
I'll
to
give him a week.
experience. Oh, a week.
I'll give him a
Sorry, I
week,
misheard
seven
that. Okay.
days. I'll give him 7 days.
7 days, 7 days. And I'm just let him know that you heard the Power and Purpose podcast with Vanessa. and he will honor that, and you get to experience a week. That one, thank you, Napoleon, for offering that, because I know that that's gonna, like, I'm feeling the energy of the right people who are ready for this. They've been praying for this. They've been waiting for this to drop in their lap, right? This opportunity. And don't think about, well, I don't have the money to keep it going. Don't think about it. You get in the group, you do your 7 days and do the gratitude work, and things will shift for you. So that is fantastic. Thank you for offering that.
And I'm going to make it even better. So
Uh-oh, here we go.
normally, well, normally it's $88. That's what anybody that comes to the group pays $88 a month, right?
Yes.
But for you and your group, if they sign up within those 7 day trial moments,
Yeah.
it'll be 44.
Amazing.
It's no excuses. You want to change
There's
your
no
life?
excuses.
You spend more on coffee.
That is amazing. Oh, what a generous offer. Thank you, thank you. Like this is a powerful movement. This is not just like trying to create fantasy. This is not just like trying to bypass and think positively. Like this is an actual movement of gratitude that has created real change for Napoleon's story, which we heard about in the beginning, but also the transformation that so many people are experiencing in his group. And Napoleon, as we start to wrap up, you know this, you've heard my podcast before. We did an episode last week that didn't get recorded because of Mercury retrograde. So typically I ask a question like, well, if someone's feeling stuck at their lowest point, what should they do? But the answer, I'm not even going to ask you that, because the answer is just get Napoleon's group for 7 days. If you're feeling stuck, just receive his offer, right?
Absolutely. And if they, for some reason, can't come today or tomorrow, just write 10 things that you're grateful for having. 5 of those things you may not have yet, but you're going to write them as if you already have them.
Yeah.
I'm happy, and the format is I'm happy and grateful now that I have, and you insert whatever you want to say that you're grateful for, and then write because and write the reasons. And then once you write the 10 item list, then you
Mm-hmm.
start visualizing being there, having that money in the bank account. Visualize the bank statement with your name on it, with the amount of money right there. You visualize it and feel good about it. Feel the gratitude. Feel so joyful and happy when you see that money, and feel the peace and the serenity that you see, and consider it done. And then say 3 times, thank you, thank you, thank you, out loud. By the way, you need to read each of the gratitude items out loud because your brain is listening.
Okay.
The brain listens to everything. So you need to say it out loud. And then when you visualize it, and then you say thank you, thank you, thank you out loud 3 times. That's a spiritual.
Amazing. I absolutely love it. Thank you for being on the show. It's always a pleasure to connect with you. Napoleon and we've been connected for years, and I don't know, every year we connect in a new way, or we collaborate in a different way. So this was such a treat. How do people reach you?
They can text me via WhatsApp or via text and say that they came from the Power and Purpose podcast. And my number is 310-497-3495. 310-497-3495. And just say that you're coming from your group, and they'll have a 7 day trial. And I'll do a special price, like I said, instead of 88 a month, it'll be 44 if they sign up within the 7 day trial.
Amazing. Absolutely. And then we have all of his links, his Instagram link or social media website, all of it is below. So connect with Napoleon in all the ways. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Vanessa. You're doing such an amazing job, and I really
Oh,
thank
thank
you
you.
for what you bring to the world.
It's an honor. It's an honor. Thank you for seeing me. And thank you, everyone, once again for tuning in. And if you know of someone who really needs to hear this message today, whether they're stuck in despair, fear, they might have forgotten what gratitude feels like, looks like. They might have forgot how to access it. They might have forgot that it's even a tool for us to come back to our heart and our most authentic self. So do them a favor, do yourself a favor, do the world a favor. Text that one person. I know you can think of one person right now. Text them. Let them know, hey, I thought about you today. I heard this podcast episode. I think you might like it. Copy and paste the link. That way you could help us out. You could help us get our message out, and you could also help out that person that you're thinking about. Namaste, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vanessa.